Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of the Gran Turismo 7, running on PlayStation 5. I didn't know old Queen Elizabeth used to race cars. Who knew? Okay, so now we have to have a German car. 700 or less. So many restrictions. Interesting that it would give you a little more max power with the different... $662. Hardly seems worth it though, huh? 666, 669. Two-way LSD. I don't want to be high when I'm driving. Take a hit of LSD before you race 250 miles an hour. Oh, hey, Homestar, good evening. Onto the Joyman cars. Well, sort of. Not paying attention. Look in the chat. Oops, oops, oops. Yeah, no doubt. Excuse me, pardon me. Oops, 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 oops. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me. It's funny, I used to work for a German-run company, or which had the main headquarters located in Germany, and kind of interesting work ethic. Very much very structured, very rules-based. So Americans, naturally have a hard time with that. So you can definitely also see it in the way they engineer their cars. With American car makers kind of having like a rough shod, kind of hastily put together a vehicle that is not exactly power balanced. Like it's kind of does one thing really good, or maybe sort of good, but it has a nice look to it. The German cars are like sort of boring to look at. They don't like exude a lot of sexiness in their design, but they tend to be very efficient. And the balance between the speed and the torque and the turning radius is all super well realized. This is 7 laps? Oh my god. This game's gonna put me to sleep. Like I said, there's something about the way the game's motion is, which it just makes me drowsy. I don't know why. Other racing games don't do this, but as I said, the motion of the camera just sort of makes my eyelids super heavy. Like 7 laps. I'm like, oh my god. Bring out the cot. Yeah, I recently bought a projector to replace my TV, and even though the TV is like a much higher quality product, because I bought an LG, I bought an OLED a couple years ago. I guess it's like 4 years now at this point in time, but at any rate, I figured since I'd be moving across the ocean, I'd want to maybe not carry one big ass TV with me, where all the power requirements are different too. So I picked up a projector, which I've never owned one of these kind of devices. It's always been something that's been on my curiosity list. But the idea of replacing a $500 bulb every couple of years was never really into it. But this newer technology, this laser technology, there really is no bulb replacement. So when it goes out, then you just buy a new one. But it also means that the life of the projector is much longer than what would have been a bulb projector, you know, a consumer replaceable bulb. So it basically has the same life as a standalone television, you know, versus the half life or or the 3/4 life that a projector has with its bulb, you know, before it starts going dim and kind of becomes impractical to watch. And I measured out my wall, you know, to figure out what the largest screen I could possibly have is. And the place that I'm at right now, it actually has a pretty significant wall. Not really in the best place, so it's kind of an odd place to put a television in the way the living room is set up. But you know, it is what it is. And I've got a fireplace behind me, so I can't put it behind me. But I measured at I basically measured that my wall could support like 165 inches, somewhere around there. Now, obviously, I wasn't going to use the whole wall for a backdrop for a TV. It's a little bit practical. Like there's other stuff I have around my wall that I had to find room for. but they sell screens in like it's like 100 and 120. Some places sell screens for like that are like 135 and 150 inches. So I was like, okay, well, let me see what 150 inches really is. It's one thing to kind of measure it out, but it's another thing to sort of see it in front of your face. So a lower cost screen, just kind of get a feel for the size and the area and how the image would look with a 150-inch screen. And I gotta say, it's pretty impressive, but you have to like sit pretty far back, or else you're like constantly looking up. Especially in a video game where there's meters and stuff. Yeah, you have to look at the top of the screen. So I was like, well, maybe this is like ridiculous. That might be a little too big. So then I bought this cheap screen that was 120 inches. And I've had that for like a day or two, and I was like, well, you know what? Now that I've actually seen that 150-inch screen, which I think I measured it out to be like 140-ish, I think 144 inches, I think is what it wound up being, that I could practically put an image up. And I was like, huh, now this 120-inch seems small, now that I know that I can I can have up to 140 inches. Yeah, funny stuff. And 120-inch screen it's a ridiculous size, absolutely monstrous. But I have a high ceiling, and like I said, it's probably like the largest flat wall in the entire house. This place is built in the I think in the late 50s or early 60s, so it has a couple of weird design decisions. But yeah, now I'm totally spoiled. I'm like, ah, well, I don't want this, tiny 120-inch screen. Yeah, when I was playing Mortal Kombat, basically, like I'm 5'7", I think, or 5'8", something like that. Yeah, the characters were like 4'2". so yeah, they were. I mean, not quite life size. Depending on what you consider the size of a normal person, but it was pretty big. They're rather large characters. You'd think at that size that, maybe 4K wouldn't be enough. Like, you'd need, like, a higher resolution than 4K. But it looked just fine. I mean, I was surprised. I thought maybe I would see, like, more flaws in the image. That's that large. But not really. Even if I play games at, like, 1080p or 1440p, I think they look pretty good. The weirdest thing is the Switch. Like, you know, I've been playing Mario games over the last couple weeks, and I tell you, there's something about the way that Switch looks. Either it's on this technology or just in general, where it just looks so. It looks so vivid. It's almost like the Nintendo games are like made for this kind of technology. Not that, you know, it didn't look vivid on my LG, but there is something about playing Mario, or like Mario is 4'2", or in the case of the 3D Mario's, you know, he's like 3.5 inches tall. Yeah, well, maybe that is also it. It's like, well, now that I have 120 inches, I mean, I might as well go bigger. You know, it's like those value meals that just make you fat, right? It's like, well, for only another $2, you know, I can get large fries and I can get an extra patty on my hamburger. It's like, yes, but now you've consumed double the fries and double the meat. And while it may be a great deal, you know, your heart is probably not too happy with you. Well, $2 is not I mean, nowadays it would be like $5. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Well, when I was looking at apartments in Korea, it's actually not that uncommon to have like a big, like empty wall, like I have in my house here. So I'll probably actually have that large of a screen when I move. I may get some questionable looks for anybody who visits. It's like, you just wasted that entire wall on your TV. Like, I wouldn't say waste. Like, what else am I going to put on there? A painting? Well, then I can have like a 150-inch painting. I don't know what painting I would love so much that I would need it to be that size, but, you know, theoretically it's possible. See, a screen that large, that's where you're like, you know, your like fireplace screensaver, you probably don't want that, because somebody might actually think that your place is on fire. If they like see this giant blazing flame-covered wall, you know, through the window or something. We'll see. Maybe I'll have like some super nosy neighbors. Yeah, actually, it's funny that you said that. The screen I bought, it's actually kind of meant for both indoor and outdoor use. So it has like these ropes and ties that you can basically put the screen out in your backyard or wherever, someplace outside. And you know, if you had power and electricity somewhere, you could just watch you could watch your TV, you know, outside, you know, sort of theater style, you know, drive-in style. Which I might do before I leave the States. You know, weather permitting, you know, if the weather's good enough where I can have something outside. I don't know what we're going to do about the noise, though. Just have kind of a fun time. Invite some families over. Watch something outside. But yes, yeah, you could see it for quite a ways away. That's one where you might get in an argument with your neighbor. It's like, why are you watching me? Like, I'm not watching you. We have a giant ass screen in your house. It's not something I can avoid seeing. Hey, baby, you okay? Cat is getting up there in the years. She's actually kind of having some difficulty walking now. So now I'm super concerned. I gotta keep an eye on her, make sure she doesn't get hurt. She's my grandma cat now. Oh, okay. Was that not enough treats? I've been giving her these chicken treats for a couple months. And she's one of these, it's weird, I've never had a pet that just got like tired of certain flavors. Like she just gets tired of eating the same food. Whereas most cats, they just don't really think about the flavor or something. Or at least, like, you can give them the same food for many years in a row and you know, they won't bat an eye. Oh, I'm sorry. Pass the nugget. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it'll be tough when Vera has to leave me. I definitely don't look forward to that day. So, you know, I gave her like a bunch of medication that she absolutely hates, of course. Sort of keep her going. She's got failing kidneys and oh, more treats. Failing thyroid, arthritis. A late stage dog and cat, you know, they tend to be even more cuddly, you know, in the latter half of their years. It's also like, oh, that's nice that she's super cuddly. It's like, well, it's kind of also not a great sign. So just enjoy it, one day at a time. See how far we can make it. Oh, okay. Now you like that, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough losing animals. And you know, I've always had an animal. I've always had cats for most of my life. So every time's terrible. It's like, ah, man, I don't want to go through this again. But then, you know, when you're sitting around at home by yourself, like, huh, you know, it'd be awful nice if I had an animal here with me. And, you know, I may have a girlfriend at you know, sometimes here and there. But it's not quite the same as having a pet. Okay now, baby? All full? Oh, I had him since he was 4 months. Oh, yeah. So that's basically like a lifetime. Yeah, I've only had Vera since she was 10. You know, she was what they call a rehome, right? The original owner, for various reasons, wasn't able to take care of her as she got on in years. So, so now I'm taking care of her in her twilight years. Hopefully giving her a good life. That's the problem with like these rehomes. You like read the description of how the animal, you know, was treated before they got to the shelter, and I'll tell you, man, Vera's had a hard life. He's had a hard life with an owner who is not, I wouldn't say super dedicated to her. So I'm just happy that I can give her the last part of her life where she's pretty well loved. Yeah, I think it's super weird to take on an animal and then just like not care about it. Like I don't even know what you're doing. You know, what kind of person are you exactly? Oh, you'd argue it was a rescue. Found in a dumpster? Yeah, it's. Oh, I tell you. Some parts of humanity I definitely wouldn't miss if they fell off the earth, you know. That's the thing is like, you know, you can take animals to a shelter. You know, there are places that'll care for your animals. It's just weird to be so callous and cruel. Like in some ways, you can be a little callous and cruel to like a person because they can respond to you, and you know they may treat you, you know, equally or not equally or whatever. Right? There's a real justified reason if you maybe don't get along with somebody, but animals just generally don't give you that reason. You know, the ones that aren't feral are generally interested in what you're doing. You know? They generally just kind of like having you around. You know, and it doesn't matter if you have like fish or a ferret or a parrot or, you know, any number of house animals. They'll just all exhibit like a certain amount of fondness for you. You know, people who don't like animals or who dislike them or who are, you know, maybe a little selfish. You know, they always think to themselves like, well, you know, they're only there because you're feeding them. And I was like, well, it's only partially true. Right? All animals remember their original owners. I mean, they always will remember them. Like I'm sure if Vera ever met her original owner again, she would, you know, she wouldn't hate them. That's not what animals do. Whereas, you know, if I run into one of my exes, you know, I wouldn't exactly welcome some of them. Not without a minimum of 10 years. After 10 years, then you kind of forget about everything. depending on the seriousness of the breakup. Obviously, in some cases, you don't forget certain aspects. I just think if there was like a rehome version for people, you know, like, you know, I don't like this person anymore. Put them in a human shelter, try to rehome them. Have a much harder time doing that than with a dog or a cat. Unfortunately, I think those human shelters would be full all the time. This person's unbearable. So you're just gonna keep your one dog, or are you gonna get like other pets then? I mean, it might be too soon to you know, it was only in August, so it might be too soon to consider another animal. But like, do you like having more than one pet around? I have a friend who has like, I don't know. I mean, he usually has like 6 or 7 pets around in his house at one time. Man loves his animals. Oh, you got tons of animals, okay. You know, I'm a renter, so there's a limit to how many animals I can have. Otherwise, I would, you know, probably have like a little farm. If I could ever get away with it. Snakes, spiders, tarantulas, scorpions, fish. Hey, regular Mr. Doodle, huh? Dr. Doodle. Hey, baby. Okay? You want to sit down? It's probably enough treats. Yeah, I think if I ever own my own home again, which again, not likely. It's not really, owning property in Korea is not really a thing, except for the super rich. But yeah, I'd probably have quite a few animals. It's like, oh my god, new flavor treats. You've been giving me this chicken for years. I do love how like every race in Gran Turismo is you're always in last place. And you always start at a corner that you have to break. Like, you're never starting in like a straightaway. It's like, and race, then break. And by the way, you're in last. Oh, great. Yeah, my mom. Well, yeah, when she was alive, she absolutely hated animals. She hated pets. It would frustrate her to no end that all of her kids love pets. And all of us kids, you know, we ended up keeping cats, cats and dogs. It would just bring out the absolute worst in her whenever she had to deal with a cat or a dog, or you know, the mess or the smell or whatever. To me, it's a very small price to pay. Although in my case, you know, my cats generally are pretty well kept. Vera is especially clean. She doesn't even like to use the bathroom outside. I mean, she has to use the bathroom inside. She'll go outside and explore, but she won't actually use the bathroom out there. Like, no, she comes inside to do that. It's a dignified lady. This car's out of control. I forgot this is a rear wheel drive, and so the handling is super funky. Generally like four-wheel or all-wheel drive vehicles, even though you get a ton of speed out of all these rear-wheel drive cars, sports cars, it's like, just drive like crap. Out of my way! Out! No, I can't wait to get to the Formula 1 cars. You'd think I'd be into the Formula 1 games, but I'm totally not. I watch Formula 1 racing and go to advance, but playing the games, man, it's like the antithesis of fun. Gran Turismo is okay because the racing model is super simple. Like, I don't have to worry about anywhere near the number of things I would have to do. I would have to, like F1, you know, 24. It's nice to see when everybody else eats it too. Even the AI is like, this course sucks. Actually, reminds me too, before I leave the country, I should kind of get together with all the people that I knew in the States. Bury any old hatchets that I have, which thankfully I don't have like a ton of enemies, but or that I know of. You know, maybe I have like a whole army full. is this course, man? This course is crazy. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, gave me a little push. Super friendly racer right there. I hate the rear-wheel drive vehicles. I just hate them. They're so ornery. That's what I got, though. I didn't want to buy another vehicle. This is only one lap. It's a hell of a lap, though. Sugawara. Sayonara. Ridge Racer. Actually surprised I recovered. Oops. I actually didn't even mean to hit him. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't even tried the online version of this game. So it's a penalty system, huh? The unfun system. Sometimes these replays reveal too much about how badly I've done. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't seem great. I mean, if you get hit, you get the penalty. Congratulations, you've got all 3 cars. This completes your AMG collection. And once you've collected your rewards, I've got some stories to tell you about these cars. Do you now? Do you have stories to tell me about these cars? I was about to say, let me guess, it's going to be the money. If there's ever a car in one of these roulettes, it always lands on the money. I think it's landed on the car once. Ooh, I got untextured parts. That's what I'm talking about. Who needs textures? Oh, whoops! I meant to go to the cafe. When you hear the name AMG, you probably think of fast, powerful cars, right? No, I think of Amigo. Indeed, those three letters have become synonymous with high performance. The AMG brand was formed by two former Mercedes-Benz race engineers, Hans Werner Ulrich and Gerhard Melchior. It started out as a tuning shop that specializes in Mercedes-Benz race engines. One of the most famous projects was a bright red race car that housed a rather special engine. It was just two dudes in there with some paddles. The car was the Mercedes-Benz AMG 300 SEL 6.8. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. The engine was originally capable of 226.8 horsepower, but thanks to them, they nearly doubled the output to 394.5 horsepower. The car took an impressive second place at the Spa 24 hours in 1971. All that horsepower, and you still took second place. And the company started to develop a following as the premier tuner of Mercedes-Benz cars. In 1999, the company became part of Mercedes-Benz, where it continues to produce specialized high-performance models. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good system. Or maybe it wasn't, fully well thought out. It's not like, I mean, in a video game, you know whose fault it was, right? Like in a live event, as a spectator or a judge or something, and you're watching a replay, you don't really know like whose fault it was, when somebody hit something or when somebody made the wrong approach. But in a video game, you know all that stuff. So it's weird that they don't know how to get the rules right, for who caused the accident or who was a victim of the accident. I don't know. Seems strange to me. For this menu, I'd like you to collect 3 different versions of Nissan's iconic GTRs. The GTR dates back to 1969, but we'll be focusing on the R33 and the R35, which came a bit after. I have an awful lot to say about these cars because they aren't just good looking, they're very powerful. Collect all 3 and come back here. Looking forward to seeing them. Well, thankfully we have Test Drive Unlimited, and I mean a number of other racing games out there that may not feel like a Gran Turismo game, but at the same time, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. $700 PP or less. Nitrous for 100K just seems a bit much. You know what I mean? Just seems much. I don't know, why am I spending so much on this car? Oh well. Nissan, love their cup of noodles. I'll tell you, start off and last, and then you have to hit the brakes as soon as you start. Every race. Why does every car's engine sound so busted? Like, take that into the shop, my friend. This race is going to feel like it goes on forever. I do kind of miss playing the open world racing games after playing this track-based game for so many weeks. I'm like, huh, you know, I do kind of miss that open world thing. else left to play though. Like I said, maybe Forza Motorsport. I don't think I ever finished that game. Although I kind of found that game a little boring, but there'd be a little change of pace from these track games, or from this game in particular. Even though I like it, it does sort of feel stale after a while. I mean, that's why I was playing that Ridge Racer Unbounded. Just to kind of get, you know, head away from these circuit games, or this circuit game. Always remember that, yeah, the game is really hard. Oops. Stuck. I'm taking that corner a little fast. A second. That's not bad. Considering I totally ran into a wall twice. Okay, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You've been watching Gran Turismo 7 running on PlayStation 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.